Okay, welcome everybody. Today is, let's see, May 18th, 2014. I'm going to be your host, Pete ASMUS, and tonight we're going to be talking all about some cool stuff. And in fact, I even have some different sound effects so that we can.
I don't know, that was weird, but I can even talk deep for you guys. So if you guys need somebody to talk deep and just really dig in, I can do that. I can even get Barry White on you if you want.
So we want to have fun tonight. We want to have a good time tonight, and that's what we're definitely going to do. I still feel like I have a reverb. It's so weird, but you guys can all hear me. Okay, hold on. FY, you sound a lot better than Ivan. Thank you very much for. I love that. Okay, clear. I'm assuming louder, and better. But I love it all. So with that, guys, we are going to go ahead and get this party started. I saw something today and I really liked it. It was do something every day that you're scared of. And I was scared to wear this shirt, so I'm wearing this shirt. It's kind of a weird shirt. It like doesn't have a collar, but it does. I don't really understand it. My wife got it for me. So today I'm wearing it on this webinar. And I figure every Sunday I'll wear something odd and something different so that you guys can all tune in and see what it is that I'm going to put on for the day. So with that, though, let's get back into this. Let's get into what we're actually going to be talking about tonight. And I want to go ahead and get into it. So with that, this is really tripping me out. I'm going to go ahead and hold. I did not. There we go. Wait. Okay, that's going back in. This should be coming from. Yep, you. So this should be, there we go. I just have to turn up my gain, actually. Okay. Now that's a little different sound, and you got to bear with me here. I've got some new equipment, so I'm doing my best to understand how the equipment is going to work with itself. Okay, that wasn't turned up loud enough. There we go. How it wasn't tuned up with itself, and I want to make sure that to me I sound right. And eventually I'll get all these sound effects working, but I don't want to get too distracted, especially on tonight's episode of timing. So with that, one of the things that we're going to talk about tonight is going to be all about timing. So often, we get into things and we think, later this or that. And the reality is the right time is all the time. Some of the things that we're going to be talking about later, we're going to be talking about luck, and we're going to be talking about wrecking balls and ways that we have to shatter who we are for who we want to become. Because at the end of the day, there's so many different things that you can do. But if you don't focus your energy down and use your time effectively, then the reality is you're never going to get anything done. So the fact is, we all have 24 hours in a day. We've all got the same amount of time within a day that you have. I have that. Bill Gates has that. Donald Trump has that. All these people, Warren Buffett, all have 24 hours. So what makes it that they are able to utilize their time more effectively than we are? What is it about them that allows them to get so much more done than we do? And that's part of what we're going to be talking about tonight. I'm almost done writing the first book. Questions are the key to unlocking your reality, and I'm at the point now where I'm starting to look at, okay, well, what's the next project going to be? What is the next thing I'm going to do? And I created the book, man. I created the next book I want to do, which is called Creating Unbreakable Habits creating unbreakable habits to become an unmistakable success. Because when you look at getting anywhere, I don't care what it is that you want to do. When you look at going after that, you are going to have a commitment to that theory, to that strategy, to that way of life, whatever it is. And you guys are going to have to learn how to flip a switch. We all the time, humans, people, you, me, everybody. And again, believe me when I tell you that what I'm saying tonight, the things that I'm telling you guys are things that I deal with on a daily basis. I'm challenged with on a daily basis. And part of those things is it's really about how do you go and make something happen? How do you go out and create a habit that is unbreakable? How do you create that thing inside of you that allows you to become what you want to be? And the bottom line is, the more I looked at it, the more I dissected it, the more I broke it apart, the more I realized it was you realizing, me realizing that without doing this, that without realizing and accepting that there is no other time, that later doesn't exist, that this is something that I want and that I need to stop procrastinating. I need to stop putting it off. Because there's so many of you guys listening right now, and I'm going to start going off a little bit. And you might, there's a good chance I'm going to get a little crazy on tonight's episode. So I'm just letting you guys know right off the bat, you're probably going to hear a little bit of vulgarity, and you're probably going to hear me kind of go crazy a little bit. And it's because, one, I care. And two, I learned one thing from Tony Robbins. Well, I've learned a lot of things from Tony Robbins, but one of my favorite things is if what you're doing isn't working, change your approach. So if what I am doing to get you guys to motivate, to inspirate, to inspirate, to perspirate, whatever it is, if what I'm doing to get you to move to that next level isn't working in the context in which I'm doing it right now, it means I got to step it up. And so today on my way to the gym, I was thinking, and I started thinking, what is it that causes some people to take off to the races and just to go for it, right? And then other people that it takes years for them to finally go, you know what? I'm going to try this. And then they try it. And then what happens? Man, I wish I would have been doing this a long time ago. Okay. So let's look at that. So the reality is we look at things that we know are good for us. We look at things that we know will help us. Right? And we talk about this. I mean, I talk about this all the time. The fact that there's information you've learned this week alone. Forget the whole entire life. Let's just talk about this week. There's information, techniques, tools, strategies that you've learned in this last week that could get you more. Now, you know it. I know it. So the question is, why aren't you implementing it? And here's what I'm going to hear. Well, I don't really understand it yet. Well, I've got too much stuff going on. Well, I've got to pick up my daughter. I've got to drop off my kids. I've got to eat. I've got to sleep. I've got to do this. I've got it. And look, I don't care how legitimate it is. I really don't. And let me tell you something else. Nobody else gives a shit how legitimate it is either. It doesn't matter what you have to do. It doesn't matter where you have to go. What matters is, do you want your life to change? And if the answer is yes, then let me explain something to you. You are going to have to do some things differently. You are going to have to start changing. That's a scary word, but that's what's going to have to happen. And you're going to have to start changing your priority list. You're going to have to start creating a list of what do you really want? That's part of what the 21-day, The 21-day challenge is all about. The whole focus of that challenge is really to get you to understand that time is of the essence. That time, you don't know how long you have. So many of you guys, man, you're 18, you're thinking, I got the world, man. Are you kidding me? I'm 18, I got forever. And then some of you are thinking, well, I'm 40, I'm 50, it's too late. And the reality is, all of you are wrong. You have no idea how long you have. You can be an 18-year-old that's going to get hit by a bus tomorrow, and you can be a 50-year-old that's going to last another 40 years, 50 years. So stop focusing on what you cannot control. Stop focusing on all these other things of you wishful thinking, and I hope this happens, and I hope that happens, and just cut it. Cut it. You need to start focusing on what do you control? What can you control? You know what you can control? You can control your effort every day. You can control your time every day. You can step up your effort. You can step up your organization. You can step up what you really want out of life. Now, you have no ability to focus on or to influence and to make this person or that person or that person do something different. You can inspire them. You can do what you can to help them. But at the end of the day, I'm going to tell you right now, I will bend over backwards for people that want to help themselves. The moment though you tell me, well, I'm done, I'm out. As soon as you tell me that there's some reason why you can't do something, I'm gone. Because no longer are you looking for solutions. You're now telling me reasons why you can't do things. And I'm going to tell you right now, I don't want to hear it, and I don't have time to hear it. And I don't want to waste my time with an individual who doesn't even respect themselves, who doesn't even believe in themselves. If you haven't even picked yourself up to say, you know what? Look, man, I don't know. Maybe I've got it all wrong, but I'm willing to do whatever it takes. And I'll do this and I'll do that. If you're like that going, I don't have a clue what's going on, but I'm willing to do whatever it takes. Boom, I'm all over it. I want to help you. But if you're the one in the corner going, man, it doesn't matter what we do because it's always going to end up the same. Good. Stay over there in the corner, man. Stay over there and you can come and you can do the lawn service for everybody else. You can come and Scott knows you can clean the pools. Look, you can either clean the pools for the rest of your life or you can figure out how to clean pools efficiently and then get other people to work for you cleaning pools and make money off of them doing the work. It's all up to you. You can be on one side or the other side, but you're never going to be on both. You can create solutions or you can talk about problems, but you don't get to do both. Start becoming a solution-based thinker. Solution-based thinker. I don't know if I made that up because I've never heard it from anybody else, but I'll tell you, it's something that I coined because I really believe the fact that all the time, people are focused on problems. They're focused on the challenges. They're focused on the issues. They're focused on what won't work. They're focused on what they can't do. Instead of being focused on what you can do, instead of being focused on what you have the ability to do, what are your resources? So many times, you guys all have resources that you can tap into. Why don't you? Well, I don't want to use it for this, or I don't want to use it for that. Let me tell you, the dumbest thing you can do, and I'm going to tell you this right now, you are a complete idiot if you are hiding and hoarding your connections. That's stupid. That's like going, you know what? I'm not going to use my arm because when I need it, I want it to be ready. So you're going to leave your arm straight and let it atrophy. You're going to leave your arm straight and not work it out. You're not going to use it. You're going to let it, you're just going to leave it there. So that way, when you need it, then you have it. How does that make sense? You know as well as I do that that's not going to work. You know as well as I do that if you stop using a muscle group, it gets weak, it gets soft, it won't work, it's not efficient, it's not strong. So why is it that you will sit there and look at all these different parts of your life but not use them? You look at all these different parts of your life and you will not exercise them. Why? Why is it that you feel that somehow something magic is going to happen? The only magic that's going to happen is when you start writing your goals. You're going to see magic happen. And if you want to take that magic to a whole nother level, join the challenge and start posting your goals and see what happens. Join the challenge and start writing down what you want to do in an affirmative way that it's already happened, right? A present tense affirmative, as Ivan would say. So not I want to be a millionaire. I want to have $1 million in my bank account. I want. What does that mean? That means, hey, if we get high enough, hopefully something magical will happen. But the reality is nothing magical is going to happen. You have to get out and make that magic happen. So wanting it isn't nearly enough. It's not even close to enough. It's the little bit of the start. You want it? Beautiful. Now go out and do something about it. You have to get pain. You have to go through pain to create change to get the gain. Listen to this. You have got to go through the pain to create the change to get the gain. When you work out a muscle group and you're tearing the muscle down, you're breaking it down, right? You're causing pain so that it can do what? So that it can rebuild itself, so it can change, it can alter its structure, its makeup. So that what? So that you get the gain out of it. Let's talk about this, because Emily hit me up today about me being all male dominated on my examples and talking, and it's funny because I don't really talk about sports that much, but I do talk about, I would say probably male dominated aspects. But even if I was to go to, and man, you may totally start killing me right now thinking, what do you mean? Why do you think that that's a woman thing? But let's go to relationships, because I'm going to tell you right now, I know that my wife is way more concerned about our communication in our relationship than I am. And that is so not, I don't mean that in a mean way. I mean that in a way though, that's what she's focused on. And so if I want a happy marriage, I've got to be focused on that too. I've got to start working on that communication. And so let's talk about this. Let's talk about the fact that how many of you guys are in a relationship right now that you're not happy with? How many of you are in a relationship right now that you know needs improvement? And what do? We end up like an ostrich, right? We stick our head in the sand. We go, you know what? Someday it'll get better. Man, it's not getting better. It's been 10 effing years, right? What do you mean it's going to get better? When? When is it going to get better? So many of us, we wait for things to change. Man, as soon as these change, then I'm going to be a great person. As soon as I have money, then I'm going to be a philanthropist. As soon as I have this, then I'm going to be that. Bullshit. No, that's not true. As soon as you have money, you're going to be a wealthy, whatever it is that you are right now. And if that's an asshole, then you're going to be a wealthy asshole right now. That's what you're going to be. You want to start changing. Money amplifies what you are. If you want to be a better person, if you want to give, if you want to be a volunteer, start doing that now. Why do you need to be wealthy to do that? Why do you need to give somebody a car, give somebody a house to make an impact? You don't. You want to know what makes an impact? Go out and talk to somebody. Go out and find a homeless person and work with them. Find somebody that you can start helping. Find somebody that's in a halfway house and start helping them. Look, you want help? On Monday nights, we're going to start doing, we're having Scott Travis come in and he's going to start doing a call called Bird Dogging Opportunities. And we're kind of changing around the whole dynamic of Coast to Coast RIA right now because of the Thinking to Succeed project, the 21-day challenge. We have so many different things happening. And for me, I need clarity right now. For me, I feel like I'm flying at 10,000 feet right now, like throwing down supplies to everybody that needs them, right? And I'm just, all I'm doing is chasing problems. I'm chasing issues and I'm putting out fires. And it's time to climb up a little bit. It's time to get up to the 30,000 foot mark and look down and go, okay, hold on. I've got this going like this. I need to straighten this all out. And I need to create a flow. And I need to have it so it comes in here and it goes here and it goes here and it goes here. And now everybody is being taken care of. I wanted, when I set up and I started Coast to Coast RIA, I wanted to help the 80% of people that didn't have money. I wanted to help the 80% of people that didn't have a clue about how to do things, that needed help. Because that, to me, it's like, man, there's so many people leaving those people to the side. They're going, look, you don't have money. You don't have what I need. Forget it. I don't want to help you. And the reality is those people aren't looking at the long term. They're not looking at what can we create. So I'm bringing in Scott and we're going to change the bird dogging call from Thursday nights is going to now be changed to Monday nights. And tomorrow he's going to do his first one. It'll be kind of like a sample one. So realize that there may be issues. I'm not going to say there are going to be issues, but there could be issues. We're going to officially start next Monday. And it, again, will be called Bird Dogging Opportunities with Scott Travis. And it's going to be all about helping you guys find properties to bring to us, how you can find rehabs, getting involved with rehabs, answering questions that you have. It's going to be all about the physical side of real estate. And then what we're doing is we're changing Thursday's call. Ivan's call that was on Thursday, the bird dogging call then is going to now be changed to Ivan Oberon's Money Matters. And he's going to go over the paper side of real estate. So notes, getting money, how to become a private lender, how to go talk to private lenders, right? How to talk to a buyer, how to talk to a seller. And some of the things will kind of overlap between Scott and Ivan. But the reality is I wanted to make sure that we were covering every aspect in what we were doing. And I wanted to make sure that we were providing content and providing a solution to people that are getting into this business. Because I know a lot of you guys have spent a ton of money. And the reality is you spend a ton of money to change your life and your life still isn't changing. And the money, yes, as great of a motivator as that is, just because you spend 30 grand does not mean that you're going to be successful. Because you could go give 30 grand to a bum and then go and turn around and look to do real estate, and it's not going to help. If you don't have the backup, if you don't have the support, it doesn't work. It just doesn't work. So what are we going to do? We're going to create a solution for that system. We're going to make it so that I'm going to have Scott head up what I wanted to start a year ago. And I want to create a national wholesale network. I want to create a national wholesale network that actually has real off-market deals that we are training you to find. Not the BS where you're grabbing an MLS listing and jacking it up $5,000 and then hoping somebody doesn't pay attention to what's going on. That doesn't work. I'm talking about things like going to a fire department and saying, "Hey, have you had any fires that completely took out a house? Are there any fires that you got called to that took out houses that we could go in and that's going to see?" I started thinking about it. If it's getting harder to find properties, what can we do to find properties? We've got to find properties that people want to give away that they don't see any solutions for. A firehouse, people freak when they hear fire. Well, to me, if we can keep one wall, we move from new construction to remodel. And hey, I'm cool with remodeling it and making it a brand new house. We just have to have one wall that we can keep up. And so those are things that we're going to start getting into how to do. I know Ivan's looking into things like probate, notes, things like that. So if you guys are interested in that, we're going to go that route. If you're interested in going out and putting out bandit signs, if you're interested in knocking on doors, all that type of stuff, we're going to bring you into the physical side. So depending on what your not only strength, but desire is. Because let me tell you, putting a square peg into a round hole doesn't work. It never does. You may get it to work kind of, but it's not going to be efficient. And the reality is certain people are really inclined and have a great inclination for certain strategies, certain types of investing. And so the biggest thing that I've learned in the last year and a half is keeping people in their wheelhouse. You know, you so many times we want to do everything. And the reality is you shouldn't. Not that you can't, you can do everything, but you're never going to be as good as you want to be. And one of the things that I realized, and it was kind of cool because as I talked to Scott, we both kind of came to the realization that, look, if we wanted to take our lives, our companies, everything to the next level, we had to merge because there's skill sets that I have that he does not have. And there's skill sets that he has that I do not have. And I do not want to go back 18 years and relearn all this. I don't want to wait till I'm like 70, 60, 70, 50, whatever, right? To end up being able to start. And neither do you. So what is it that you're good at right now? Let's talk about timing. What is it that you're good at right now? What do you want to learn at? What would you spend hours doing for zero money? That is what you got to focus on. For me, I liked videos. I liked audio. I like creating things, making experiences. You guys see that every morning I do videos. Every day we do the radio show and then I put it all together. That's me. I'm doing all of that. I'm doing all of it. I'm producing it. I'm putting it up. I'm doing it all. Now, I'm not great at all of it, but I'm good at a lot of it. And I'm getting better at certain things. And then I'm starting to push off certain aspects of things that are challenging. And here's the thing. A lot of times people think, well, you know, now it makes it seem like I don't want to do that. Well, right. You don't. Why is that a bad thing? Why is this isn't fun for me a bad thing to say? Why is I don't want to do that a bad thing to say? It's a bad thing to say if you're the only person involved, right? And you're talking to your spouse going, well, I don't really want to do that. Look, somebody's going to be doing it and it's probably going to be you. But as you grow, as your company becomes bigger, you saying, look, that's not something I'm strong at. And it's going to take me for instance, I had somebody writing a bio today. Well, for the last 2 days now. And all I asked for was 2 paragraphs. I asked for 2 paragraphs, 3 to 5 sentences each. 1 paragraph focused on the family and 1 paragraph focused on why you're doing what you're doing, why you're giving back, right? And this has taken 2 days. Now, I've written like 15 different things in that amount of time that all are completely different. All are focused on, I mean, even going to, designing out our pages and changing them. And instance, let me show you. Like on here, if you go to C2C Coast to Coast RIA, right? So if you come here now and you go to our About page, I've changed this up. So as you slide down, I've moved things on here. I've put our teams into place. I put up new pictures. I've changed the wording in some of this. And so the reality is I can do these things very quickly. And the more I do them, the better I get at it. The more I write copy, or for those of you, copy is also ad work. Copy is, let's see. This. Oh, wait, no, that's the wrong one. Open recent daily pics. So every day when I do things like these are my pictures, right? So it's really easy because all I have to do is delete the picture out like that. And then I drop in the new picture of whatever the day was, right? But doing things like this is something that I wrote yesterday and I was going to make it a post. And then as I'm about to make it a post, I'm like, man, I'm going to make this a post. And then if people share it, that's going to suck because nobody will know that I'm the one that said that. And I'm like, I want to grow my brand. I want people to realize that, look, the reason I'm saying this is because I want you to join the challenge. The reason I'm saying this is because I want you to step your life up. And so then I'm like, okay, well, then if I'm going to do that, I've got to take it to another level. And why can't I make these things? Why can't I make a meme or whatever it is that you call them or a quote? Well, I'm showing you right here. I can. I can do it just like you can. That's the biggest point. I want you to grasp what I just said. I can do it just like you can. You can come up with sayings. You don't have to invent them, reword them, rewrite them, right? Obviously, people have said you need to have pain to change before. I'm not brand new to that. It's the way I wrote it. It's the way I worded it. You can take a quote from Aristotle and just modernize it and make it yours. You can take a quote from anybody and modernize it, except me. Anybody else, though, modernize it and make it yours. Now, you may say, well, why am I doing that? I don't care. Who cares? Why do I care? Because as you start to think that way, as you start to envision the world like this, like if and when life doesn't provide the right amount of pain for change, it's your turn. You must step up. Think about the words behind that. If and when, right? Meaning if it happens, but really when it happens, life doesn't provide the right amount of pain for change. And what do we mean by that? Well, if you really want to change something, right? Enough pain if you get enough pain, you're going to do that, right? For instance, let's say every day as you go out to get in your car, every day when you try to start your car, it doesn't start. And for a month and a half, your car just doesn't start. Eventually, that's going to be enough pain. You will find a solution. You'll go buy another car. Eventually, you're going to be frustrated enough with the wasted time and everything else, and it's going to get to you so bad, you will do it, right? But here's the thing. What about those of us that are smokers? Well, we know that smoking's bad for us, right? And I quit smoking. I quit smoking a little over a year ago. Or not smoking cigarettes, chewing tobacco, but tobacco, no, nicotine, whatever. And it seems like when you think about it, we all know that tobacco is bad for us. We know it. We know tobacco will kill you. You know smoking will kill you. You know it. You know it. We've seen it. I mean, my God, the 80s went completely nuts, right? Nancy Reagan went completely berserk when it came to smoking. And a lot of laws were passed because of that. There's no smoking in restaurants. And if you smoke, then obviously you hate that law. But for those of us who don't, love that law. And I used to be a smoker, and I did hate that law before, and I loved it when I could go into bars. But man, when you really start thinking about it, is it really going to take the fact of you being connected to some kind of oxygen machine that you're going to stop smoking? Is it going to take that amount of pain for that to happen? Where's the threshold for you? Now, let's say smoking's not your gig. Let's say it's weight loss. Let's say it's making more money. Let's say it's one of a million different challenges. The reality is, if life and when life does not provide enough pain, you're going to have to step up and do it. How does that work? What does that mean? Eric Thomas said that pain is temporary. It's temporary. It may last a day. It may last a week. It may last a month. It may even last a year. But eventually, it will subside and something else will take its place. If you do nothing, however, it will last forever. Now, you guys all know that I'm staring at you, right? I'm not reading that off of anything. You can see my screen. I know that because I've heard it over and over and over and over and over, like we were talking about last week with consistency. I believe that. And once I believed that, once I took that information and I said, man, okay, hold on. Oh, okay, hold on. Stop. What you're telling me is I'm going to go through this pain no matter what. No matter what. I'm going to go through the pain. So, do you want to go through the pain right now and have the rest of your life as a pleasure point, right? Or do you want to keep delaying it, feeling guilty, not happy really, right? I mean, even when you're smoking or eating the Twix or eating junk food or whatever it is that your guilty habit is, even when you're doing that, you're not really happy. It's satisfying a need, but you're not happy because you know what you're doing is wrong. You know what you're doing is not going to get you the results that you really want, right? So you know what you want. What you want is right here. And what you're doing is going, but right here is a little bit of good. So I'm going to take this little bit of good instead of this lot of good. What about if you had an 8-pack, a 6-pack, abs? What about if your body was exactly like you wanted it to be? What about if you were making the amount of money you wanted to make every year? What would happen if you didn't smoke and you had energy? How would your life be if that was the case? And then my next question is, why is it that you feel like you don't deserve it? And you're going to say, what are you talking about? I totally deserve that. But you don't think that you do. I agree. I think you deserve it. I think you should have it. I think you should have it right now. But you still don't agree with that. You still think that this isn't right for you, that success isn't right for you, that you're not worthy of it, that you're not, that it doesn't, that for some reason that you're not going to be able to reach it. And the reason you feel that way is because you haven't got off your ass and started working it. The system doesn't work unless you do. The project doesn't work unless you do. Nothing works unless you do. All of you guys, there's people out there looking for that magic pill. Let me tell you, the magic pill, you want to know what the magic pill is? The moment you take that magic pill, you're going to start realizing that you have to work to reach your level of success. You're going to realize that you have to bust your butt to get where you want to go. Now, good, bad, or indifferent. That is the key. Now, you can either look at that and go, well, that's way more work than I want to do. Or you can look at that and go, very few people will do what I'm about to do. And I will change history. When I think about this, I had a meeting earlier today, and I honestly feel like the 21-day challenge and the Thinking to Succeed project will change a majority of the way the world looks at things. I feel that way. I feel like I will be in 50, 60, 100 countries, right? I feel like this project will impact thousands, and then millions of people. I feel like when I can show people that when they write their goals down every single day, and when we create unbreakable habits, and I don't mean creating a habit. Look, a 21 days, that's going to kind of create a habit. It doesn't really form. It just creates a habit to where you feel like you should be doing it. But guess what? The short, it's kind of like a marriage, right? If you get divorced, it's half the time it takes to get over it. If you only do this for 21 days and then stop, you're going to feel guilty for about 5 or 6. And then you're going to start to go, man, whatever, who cares? That's why there's a round 2, round 3. And we're actually developing that right now. We're going to have a round 2 and round 3 of the 21-day challenge. But the fact is, we've got to do this so consistently that it becomes part of our DNA, that it's a compulsion, that you feel like unless you write your goals, you haven't completed your day. It's got to be like eating, like breathing, like drinking water. It's got to be like breathing, because you cannot eat and not drink water for a day and you'll still live. Well, you would still live with this too. But it's got to be like water, not like food, like water, right? There's obviously going to be days that are going to happen where you're not going to be able to do this. That there's going to be challenges that come up that happens with. And that's okay. But what's not okay is when that happens, is all of a sudden letting everything slide to the side. It's got to tear you apart inside when you're not doing your goals, when you're not writing your goals. You've got to think this. You've got to think how you do anything is how you do everything. Listen to what I'm saying. How you do anything is how you do everything. If you want your life to start going up to the next level, start taking every aspect of your life to the next level. Stop focusing on the fact that, well, I'm going to do this really good, but the rest of the stuff, who cares about? People are watching you. Everybody. I'm not talking about the man. I'm not talking about Big Brother. I'm not talking about the government, right? I'm not talking about how they work with iPhones so that they know where you are. I'm not talking about any of the conspiracy thing. I'm talking about everybody around you is looking at you. And either you're going to build a brand that people want to follow that inspires others, or you're going to build one that nobody wants to be around. And the question is, what do you want? Do something every day that scares you. You want to grow. You want to become better, stronger, faster, more efficient. Do things that scare you. Get outside of your comfort zone. Realize that if and when life doesn't provide the right amount of pain for change, it's your turn to step up. That you need to provide that change. You need to provide that pain. How can you provide that pain? Start focusing on what you don't want. And start focusing on what you do. Stop focusing on what you don't want and start focusing on what you do. Meaning, if you really want to quit smoking, start looking at your kids. Start looking at your life. Start imagining what your life is going to be like at 60, pushing around one of those IV things so you can breathe. Start creating that pain, that wedge in your life that will force you to change. And realize that this is a switch. You need to stop thinking that you can kind of half-ass do stuff. You need to stop thinking that there's a way to just kind of get involved. When you start something, you are all in, both feet. I'm picking you up and I'm throwing your ass in the deep end of the pool. Get out of the kiddie pool. Stop walking around on that little freaking, whatever that thing is, that ledge in the pool, the reef. It's only 3 feet deep. Get out of that, man. What are you going to learn from that? Nothing. Nothing. You're going to learn that as soon as it gets kind of difficult, you're off somewhere else, and then it didn't really affect you at all. But when I throw you in the deep end of the pool, you're swimming to get out because you don't want to die. You don't want to drown. So you're going to work to get out of that pool. All of you guys are just dipping your feet in. You're just going, all right, just going to put my little toe in. I'm going to put that bad boy in. I'm going to see how it feels. You want to make a change? You want to commit to something different? Jump in. Make a difference. Do you have to know how to do everything in the beginning? No. Nobody does. But in order for you to be great, you have to start. You don't have to start to be you don't have to be great to start. But you do have to start to be great. Now you guys know that. And you know that there are so many things out there right now that you know you should be doing. I want you guys to list the 3 things right now that you know you should be doing. 3 things right now that you know if you did would improve your life. Put that over in the questions bar right now. I want you to type out 3 things that you know if you started doing right now, your life would improve. I want to know what those are. I won't name any names, but I will read them because I want you guys to hear each other's. I want you to hear what other people say because I think you guys think you're in the same boat, man, or you're all in different boats. I think you guys think you're the only one that feels like this. And that's part of what Journey to Success is all about. It's our journey, mine, yours, everybody's. And I want you to know that you're not alone. You're not in this boat all by yourself. We are SEAL Team 6, and we're about making it happen. Here, I'll go back to this one real quick. You can see that Journey to Success, we do this every, 45 minutes into it. I'm going to go ahead and announce what the hell we're doing now. Journey to Success, force your dreams into reality. What we got going on right there is Force Your Dreams into Reality is the very first book that I wrote. You guys can go to forceyourdreams.com and you can download it absolutely free. Or actually, just go to c2crea.com and right over there to the right side is a little button. You hit download. It'll put your information in and it'll send it right to you. It's super easy. And with that, we do this every Sunday at 6 p.m. Pacific. Every Sunday. I do not miss any Sundays. And as you will start to see, all of the C2C webinars will happen regardless. Every single time they are supposed to happen, they will happen. I don't care if there's one person or 100. You know, we have 55 people right now on this call, but the reality is I'm going to have another 500 downloads from this webinar. I know that. I get them all the time. I mean, we're tracking our best month ever with what we're doing, which shows me that people are starting to respond to this. It shows me that what I've been doing, the free content and really focusing on you, that at this point now, you guys are starting to get it, that you're starting to see that I've been consistent, that I'm not fly by night. I've been doing this for a year and a half now, almost, a year and a half now. We'll stick with that. I've been doing this for a year and a half. I haven't ever quit. I haven't stopped. And all I've done is improve every single week. And I've given you more content every single week. And it's because I really want your life to change. I want you to have a better life. I want you to be able to go onto Facebook and Twitter and Instagram and tag me and tell me that this webinar helps focus your life, that this webinar changed your life. I want at some point that I have thousands of people that come and say that because of me, they didn't quit. Because of me, their life is different. Because of me, they have what they want. They've changed their life because I helped them. I made it click. I made them realize that, look, you want to lose weight? I'll tell you, it's a simple arithmetic problem. You want to know what it is? 500 calories per 1 pound of weight. You either eat more or less, 500 calories, you're going up or down 1 pound. It's simple numbers. Now, that doesn't mean that the weight is going to be what you want if you eat, 100 Twinkies during the day and then you just stay on the treadmill the entire day and burn off 5,000 calories. It's not going to happen the way that we're saying, okay? But if you're doing it in a healthy manner and you deduct and you basically live by a deficit, you figure out what you're eating right now and you drop that by 500 pounds, or 500 pounds, hello. You drop that by 500 calories, you're going to lose 5 pounds every single week. Now, that's not going to obviously be able to be forever, because at some point you're going to hit that stagnant and, you're eating what you need to. But understanding simple things like that, I never know what I'm going to say that's going to click with any one of you. I never know what that one magic thing is that's going to ring for the rest of your life. Like for me, how you do anything is how you do everything. Every time I think, man, even in the mornings when I'm like, I don't want to get out of bed right now. How I do anything is how I do everything. And then I'm up out of bed going, man, I'm not a little blank. You know what I mean? I'm going to make it. I'm not gonna focus and not make something happen. I'm gonna make sure that I'm somebody that people can look up to. I'm gonna make sure that I am following through with what I said I would do. And so that's the other big key to this. The next book that I'm writing, which after the questions are the key to unlocking your reality, that as soon as that one's done, which honestly should be here within the next month or so. I think we have almost all the chapters written at this point now. I'm redoing chapter 5 because it was missing a little bit of stuff, but I've already got all the way to 4 is done, all the way to 10 is written, but 5 needed to be rewritten, so then I can go back through that, and now I can go to 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. But it's almost done, so I'm now working on the next one. And because we're doing the 21-day challenge, because we're doing Thinking to Succeed, everything that's on my mind right now is creating unbreakable habits. And so that's the next book. And that to me is exciting, because that comes down to, how do you do that? How do you create an unbreakable habit? Well, the number one thing that you must have to create an unbreakable habit is a sense of self-worth. Your word has to mean something to you. You have to mean something to you. Because if you don't have a sense of self-worth, if you can go out and say, I'm going to do this to people, and then not do it, right? Then you have no value. Your word isn't worth anything. And I'm going to tell you, your word is worth more to you than gold, than money, than anything. Because your word tells you what you think of you. Not me, but you. If you're willing to lie to yourself, if you're willing to put yourself together, if you're willing to sit there and cheat yourself, it's not until you stop doing that I can be of any use. And that's, that goes back to working with another person I was working with recently. And I got a call, and it was just like the world is falling around. It's just falling down around me. It's the sky is falling. And within 5 minutes, it was like, I can't handle this. I'm about to throw my phone through the window right now. Like, I'm so irritated listening to this. It's driving me crazy. And I'll tell you, sometimes Shannon's been like this. And I'm like, look, you need to stop talking the way you're talking right now. Like, I cannot deal with this. All you're saying right now is just negative stuff. All you're saying is the problems. You're not talking about any solutions. All you're telling me is everything that's wrong. But I don't care what's wrong. I care what is the solution to fix it. And if all you're doing is presenting the problems and not saying, look, this happened, but I think if I do this, I could get around it. How do you feel? What do you think I could do to fix this? That's way different than, yeah, and this is happening and this happened, so I guess that's not going to work, right? Well, I guess not. I'm sorry, was I your cheerleader? What? Give me an A, give me an O, give me a what? What are you talking about? Get out of that mood. Stop feeling sorry for yourself and start realizing that until you look, think about this. What is the worst place you could possibly be in if the world is falling if the world is falling around you? If everything around you is falling apart, what is the worst possible thing that you could do? Worst possible thing. What do you guys think? I'm hoping, I don't know what you guys are saying right now, but I'm going to hope that you guys are saying to fall apart, because it is. You want to change your life? You being upset, sad, and depressed isn't going to get it done, because nobody's going to come running to your aid. And if they are, all they are is feeling sorry for yourself. And that's not what you want. Do you want pity? No. What do you want? You want strength. You want strength? Come back at me and tell me, hey, look, this is going on, but I don't want this anymore. I'm willing to do whatever it takes to change that. And then when I'm giving you advice, listen to it. So many times, well, not so many times, but nothing drives me more crazy than you telling me I have this problem, this problem, and this problem. I go, okay, cool. Well, you could do this, this, and this. And then a week later, I talk to you and you go, I have this problem, and this problem. Did you do any of those things? No, I haven't got to it yet. Okay. Why are you calling me, man? Why are you wasting my time? You want me to give you different solutions? I already gave you solutions, but you're not even following up on those solutions or talking to them. So the fact is, there's nothing I can do for you until A, you pull your head out, and B, you start believing in yourself again. Now, how did we do that? How do we do that when we're, oh my God, driven into the ground, right? Everybody's pissed at you all around. Nobody seems to believe in you. You want to know how you come out of that? Get onto the 21-day challenge. Get onto our group. Connect with us. Because we won't allow you to talk bad. I'll make you reword everything you say. Ask Michael Wetterman. You could tell me all the bad stuff you want. I'm going to go, great. Now reword it. And you can't use this word, this word, this word. And you can't talk like this. Go. And guess what happens? All of a sudden, you start to look at things from a different perspective. And when you start to see those perspectives change, when you start to see the fact that, hey, look, you know what? It's not just me. It's not just about me. It's also about my family. It's also about other people. I get so wound up in my own little world sometimes. And I think that, my God, does everybody not see what I'm doing for them? Like, I don't get this. I'm running 3 different companies. I do free webinars. I go and do wine and dines. Like this Wednesday, we're going to be at TGIF. I have that coming up too. I'll have that on here. But I do so many things that I give back for. So many things. But sometimes when I ask for just the littlest thing, it's like a challenge to get it from people. And that's when I start wondering, what is it that they expect? What is it that people expect when they want a different life? They want a different outcome. They want something different. Yet they're not willing to do anything else to get it. And if they don't see immediate gratification, hands up, I'm not even doing it. And what a lot of people can't see or don't see is that the 21-day challenge, it's all about being at the, like right at the surface of what's about to break out of you. It's about focusing your dreams and your ambitions and, my God, your energy, and focusing it all in one direction. And I don't mean the band. Think about this. Close your eyes right now, and I want you guys to think about a time in your life when you overcame amazing odds, when you actually realized that you were invincible for a minute. And maybe it lasted 5 minutes, maybe it lasted an hour, maybe it lasted a day, right? But we've all had that moment where we've thought, man, nobody can stop me. I could do anything right now. And people will, whatever, buy, love, whatever it is, right? Well, what is it about that mindset? Wouldn't you love to live in that mindset 24 hours a day? Wouldn't you love to live in a world that anything was possible? If you want to live in that world, get 5 people that you know to join the 21-day challenge with you. And I don't just mean 5 people on Facebook. I mean 5 people that you see face to face every day. You guys want to step this up a notch? You want to take your life up to the next level? You want a high five? Let's do something here. You know what? Where's that, oh man, hold on. I got to show you this because it cracked me up. Here we go. There we go. You want to do the high five with a minx cat, right? You want to get into that kind of action? Then it's about you. It's about you finding inside of yourself that drive for success. And it's about finding those people around you that you care about, that you want to inspire their life. Think about if you lived by me and we were talking all the time and there were 5 of me around you. What do you think that you could accomplish? What do you think would ever hold you back? What do you think, what kind of opportunities do you feel like you could get from that? Now, why? Why is it that if you were around 5 of me, that would happen? Is it because of the connections? Okay, that seems justifiable. Is it because that I'm constantly motivated and inspiring and trying to bring and bringing the best out of everybody that I'm around? Okay. So if you know that, let's go back to those three things. If you know that, why wouldn't you do it? Why wouldn't you put 5 people around you and say, join this contest, join this challenge? I want you and me and all 5 of us to really go after what we want. I want our lives to get better. Because of those of you who have started doing the challenge, my question, and we'll have this later on, is how's it affecting you? How's it affecting your life? Is it making it better? And believe me, we're going to get to that point. I have a Q&A section. So please, I would like you guys, especially some of you newer people that have been doing it, I'd like to get your input. The reason is twofold. One, I want you guys to do something you're afraid of. And if you've never spoken on this webinar before, I know that you're afraid of doing that. The second thing is I want you to help inspire other people, because there are people listening right now that are afraid to put their goals out. There are people listening right now that are afraid. I read somebody, they wrote me this note, and it was amazing. And they actually apologized to me for writing their goals and saying I want instead of I have or I did or whatever. And because they were writing the goals in the format of they hadn't happened yet, they literally pulled them off of Instagram and Facebook and everything else, wrote me a letter, apologized for it, and then rewrote them and put them back up. That's the type of person that I want to bend over backwards to help. But it also showed me something. It showed me that in the beginning, I kept thinking that people weren't writing their goals because they were thinking, oh, this is stupid, who cares? And I'm realizing that that's not it. I don't think anybody really thinks that. I think the reason that people aren't putting the goals up is they're afraid of what people will think. They're afraid of people maybe making fun of them. And all I can say to that is go onto Facebook and type in the hashtag, this hashtag right here, 21-day challenge. Go on to Pete ASMUS's 21-day challenge group. Find that group. There's a group there. Find it. It's an open group. Anybody can join. Join it. Read what people are writing. Read what people, you want a safe place, go in and post your goals in that group. It's a safe place to post them. Nobody's going to light you up in there. I promise that. Nobody is going to make fun of you in there. I promise that. All you will get is constructive help. You may get from me or from one of the other leaders in the group. You may see, hey, you need to write it differently. Don't write it like this, write it like this. But that's because we want to help change your mindset, right? When I saw one post that said, personal, number 2, I am not crying as much anymore. And it's like, oh my God, that's so close, so close. Because what that still insinuated was that they were still crying over whatever it was. And I didn't want to ask because that wasn't my thing. But what I wrote was, number 2, rewritten, I don't cry anymore. Period. It doesn't have to be more complicated than that. That simple statement, I don't cry anymore. She knows what she was referring to, or he knows what he was referring to, right? I don't have to know that. They have to know that. It's their correlation, not mine. So understanding that whole thing of going, look, here we go. That was written, and I think there was one other one on there too that was written in there. And it was something else. It was I am extremely happy always. And I rewrote that. I said, no, I am always extremely happy. Don't those mean 2 different things? I'm extremely happy always, right? Always is an afterthought. But when you say I'm always extremely happy, much more powerful. Much more powerful to the brain, the way we think it. Now, I suppose if that person spoke primarily Spanish, and I don't know, because I think in Spanish you actually use some of the adjectives or things at the end of the sentence, right? So maybe that's why that was written like that. And in that case, then I'm wrong, and maybe it makes more sense to them like that. So, man, I didn't even ever think about that. I guess we have to also pay attention to the fact that what are people's primary languages when they're getting involved in these, and how do they write those out? Because again, we want these to impact. We want people to shatter who they are for who they want to become. All right. So when you do the challenge, I know we've been kind of going off crazy here. I want to get into some of these things that people wrote. I said the 3 things that you know that you could do better that would make you more money and that would help you out. Stay consistent. Number 2, focus. Number 3, management of products. Exercise 5 days a week. Kick ass on Thinking to Succeed project and get my real estate business going. Let's see, what else do we have? Wow. Okay, this one's long. Speaking of relationships, Pete, my wife is having some struggles and I need to go and talk with her. Priorities, baby. Oh, okay. That was okay. Also, just so you guys know, I will read these out loud, period. So if they're supposed to be private, you need to write private right off the bat, because otherwise I will just start reading them, because I'm thinking I don't have time to stop, read, and then start talking, because to me, that puts this really weird spacing in there. And I know some presenters do that. That's just not me. So this is like a teleprompter to me. When you write this, I immediately, unless it's like something quick, like quit my job, like Kenneth wrote, where I can read that, I don't need to respond to that or say anything out loud. But when you write a big long paragraph, believe me, I'm going to just start reading it. And then you may get upset, which I hope you don't. So, all right, let's see. Where else are we going? Thank you, Gil. I appreciate that. Speaking from the heart. And that's true, man. It's where I'm always going to talk from, because for me, it's about being real, and that's how we're real. So 21-day challenge. The way that we work this is, I wanted to focus you guys in 3 different areas. Okay. A lot of times when people focus on goals, they focus on one goal and they think, yeah, that's great. But let's be realistic here for a second. Our brain has multiple thoughts every second. We can be literally thinking about 3 or 4 different things simultaneously. Well, with that, if I give you one major task and I say, hey, I want you to make $1 million this year, and that's your one task, great. But every waking minute focused on that probably isn't realistic. So the reason that I've started breaking these down in a little different ways for you was so that, look, 5 community goals, that means how are you going to help out back? 5 community goals are giving back goals. I will start a charity. I have started a charity to give back, and then be specific. Like, for instance, on mine, if you read mine, it's my girls have started a charity called Size Doesn't Matter. Everyone can impact, and it's everyonecanimpact.com. I've already got the website. Now, I wouldn't have done that had I not started writing these out. Had we not started thinking, it all starts somewhere. It all starts somewhere. And for you, it can be right now. Right now can be your start to move to another direction, to move into a different plane, to move to another elevation and the next level of you. Community. So it's all about giving back. How are you going to give back? And how are you going to help the community which you live in? All right. Or the world which you live in. 5, business. These are your business goals. These are how you make money. Okay. These are what you want to accomplish in the business world. So you need to have a dollar amount that you want to make. You need to have things like, I don't know, what you want your office to look like. Or if you don't have an office at all, what you want the boat to look like that you're going to be living on. I mean, it's all about that type of change, those different types of things. All right. And then personal, 5 personal, meaning we're going to have 5 things that you want for you. I want to lose weight. I want a better memory. I want a bigger house. I want this kind of car, whatever that is. Those are your personal things. All right. And the more specific you are, the better. And think about this. A vision board should have these types of things on that, right? I mean, you really want this to work really well? Put your vision board up and your goals, make them match. Watch what happens. All right. Okay. Here's what the challenge looks like. It's super easy. I go into explaining exactly how you do it. All you got to do is hit the challenge button. It's synced up with Infusionsoft. So it actually, every day you'll end up getting sent an email And eventually we're going to have videos put into those as well from people that have done the 21-day challenge, because we're already getting them. And again, if you go into the 21-day challenge group, you're going to see a ton of people already posting videos now about their experiences from doing this. Also, when you go over here, hit the like buttons and share them. Share it, tweet this. Google Plus. Oh, you can't see my finger. Like it over here on Facebook and Google and tweeting it. And make something happen. You know what I mean? Share this with people. And then finally, are you ready to take your life to the next level? Because that's the question. Are you ready to say enough is enough? Are you ready to finally commit and write down what it is you want? As scary as that may be. As scary as that may be. And if you want a trial run, write down your goals on a piece of paper, take a picture, and send them to me. Email them to me. Do a private message on PM me on Facebook. All right. And say, hey, is this okay? Does this look right? You know, if you're worried about it. Again, I'm here to help. I don't know how much clearer I can make that, but it's truly what I'm here to do. I want to help you guys reach the next level of you. All right. Okay, let's see. Do I have any other words? Okay, cool. So goals are the blocks that support your success. We've talked about this before, 12-week goals and basically creating goals that build on each other. All right. Knowing where you want to go and then working backwards. What do you need to do to get there? Okay. And we go into this in great detail. If you go into, I think number 17 goes into really good detail about writing your goals and about utilizing that feature right there. Okay. So finally, an hour and 10 minutes into this, let's get into why we're here. Timing. Creating or steps to creating success. This is based off of the book, Forcing Your Dream into Reality. And again, you can go to forceyourdreams.com. You can download this ebook, super easy. First one was the reason is you. You know, understanding that no matter what you do, if you're not focused on doing it for you, it's never going to really work. Now, you may need other motivators, like my kids are motivators, but even as bad as I want their life to be great, I want their life to be great so that I feel like I did something positive. It's still a selfish feeling, right? It's still, and I'm not being weird about this. I'm just being honest. I think every human being is selfish. We do things for selfish reasons. Even when you anonymously donate $1 million to something, you did it because you wanted to feel good, and you feel better because nobody even knows that you did it. And you can walk around thinking nobody knows that I'm such an amazing person. However you want to look at that, right? It doesn't really matter, but understand that anything that you do, you've got to do for you first, for everybody else second. Chapter 1, passion, finding that passion within you. All right. Chapter 2 was someone to believe in or belief. And then creating the right value. See, I've renamed all these chapters. I mean, this is how I started. And it's funny because we're talking about in the Thing to Succeed project right now with the people that have moved up into the internship level. They're getting ready to start writing their first book. And this was kind of like what I was talking about when I was talking to them. And I was saying, you need to name each chapter. The problem was when I started naming these chapters, I this was a year ago I did this. And now I'm much better at what I do. And so now I'm renaming the chapters as I go. And I've actually gone back into some of the copies of the books and renamed them, because this one was called Strategy. So chapter 4 was strategy, and now it's creating the right strategy. 5 was consistency, obviously. Now it's living with consistency. And then chapter 6, it's all about time. It's all about time. Timing is everything, guys. Listen to me right now. We're at a baseball game. The pitcher winds up, throws the ball. The batter is up, has the bat up, whoosh, swings, crack. You hear the sound off the bat. You know that is going over the back fence. You know it. The question is it going to be foul or is it going to be fair? Because an inch can dictate whether it's a home run or whether it doesn't count at all. And that has everything to do with timing. If he's early or late on the swing, even if he hits the ball right, even if everything else is right, but he was too early or too late, it doesn't count. I want you to realize that. I want you to hear what I'm saying, because the reality is you need to be prepared all the time. It isn't about being prepared when you think it's going to be appropriate. It's not about being prepared when you think it's going to be right. It's about being prepared every single day. It's about taking pride in yourself and going that, you know what? No matter what, I will be lucky, because luck is just preparation meeting opportunity. And there is no way that I won't be prepared again. There's no way that I'm going to let life take over, because here's what happens, guys. You get all amped up, you get excited, you get moving on your life like this, and then life takes the feet out from under you. And because you have not created unbreakable habits, the first thing that goes when you start getting stressed and the life starts to crumble are the things that are brand new, are the things that you feel like you don't need to do. But let me tell you, as horrible as everything can get, you still keep breathing. You keep doing it. You still keep drinking water. You still keep eating. So what we need to do is make sure that when the world falls down around you, that those habits that you have will keep you consistent until you get your life back on track. Meaning you may go up like this, right? And then something bad happens and you're going to just go flat line. We'll go flat. That's fine. And then you get your life back again. Boom. And now you're shooting up. Because the other thing that happens is you go up, something happens with your life. Boom. You go back down to zero. And now what happens? Now it comes 3 months later, 4 months later, right? And you're like, oh, I'm ready to go again. And you're like, holy crap, I got to start from the beginning again. Like, I don't want to do all that stuff again. But if you would have just kept your composure, if you would have kept your strategy. You like how I can do that, right? Your strategy. Then you would have kept your consistency. And consistency is what's going to keep you moving forward. It's what's going to keep you just floating till when you can go ahead and jump it. But doing it over and over and over again, creating habits that you cannot let go. Look, success is the right idea at the right time, period. It just is. And so, again, luck is preparation meeting opportunity, which means create your own luck. Make your own luck. Create environments that you can be lucky in. Create situations that you can be lucky in. You know what you're good at. Focus on that. Guys, you guys are amazing. And the fact that sometimes you focus on what doesn't work is what kills me. Because you work. You work just the way you are. There's certain things about you that nobody else can duplicate. And it's finding those things within you and bringing them out. Bringing out the amazing. Because you all are amazing. And you could sit there and think that I'm talking to him or I'm talking to her and I'm not talking to you, but I am. I am literally talking to you. Because you are amazing. There are things within your life that you know that you do very well. And so why is it that we stop focusing on those? We don't look at those. We just look at what we don't do well. We look at where we're having issues. We're looking where there's leaks. Well, great. Find experts that you know to plug those leaks. Make something happen. Get out and force your dreams into reality. Look, it's all about your billboard. It's all about your billboard. So what does your billboard look like? What are you doing right now to draw attention to who you are? Do you have an elevator speech? If you were in an elevator and you went from floor 0 to floor 9 and you were going to be in there for 30 seconds, could you tell somebody in 30 seconds what you do eloquently? Could you make them want to hear more and take your card because it's so interesting? I'll bet the answer is no. And if that's the case, that's something you need to work on right now, not later. You don't need to wait till the opportunity presents itself to figure out that you need to know how to do it. This is what I mean about timing. You've got to do this stuff right now. Not later, but right now. Right now is your time. Right now is your day. Right now, it's your year. So go make that happen. Because let me tell you right now, if you want to start doing things differently, it's wrecking ball time. It's time to start sacrificing who you are, to shatter who you are for who you want to become. And that's a light bulb that we're using right there. Because I want that light bulb to come on for you to realize that when we do that, bam, that's what's going to happen. Right there. We're going to rock it. We're going to rock it just like that. And you're going to be thinking this. Most of you guys are thinking this exact thing. What do you mean wrecking ball? What are you talking about? I don't want to be hit with no wrecking ball. I like just the way I look right now. But you're going to keep looking just like this with stains and old lighting and old windows and old doors. Or you're going to grow. You're going to let go of the past to build your future. Because I'm going to tell you right now, if you have, stop it. If you have this building in the way, it's impossible to build that. Do you see what I mean? You've got to let go of the past. You've got to let go of what didn't work before. You've got to let go of things that you've tried, of things that you've attempted, and saying that there's just no way to do it. Look, you only fail when you stop. You only fail when you quit. But if you keep fighting, if you keep moving forward, if you keep giving everything that you have, you're not going to fail. And you're certainly not going to quit. And there are going to be people all around you that want you to do better. All around you, apparently. There are people all around you that want you to do good now. And I know you're scared because there's people around you that probably want you to fail. There's people around you that are hating on you, that are pushing you down. But that's why we created the group. That's why we created the Pete ASMUS 21-day challenge group. Because I wanted a space that there is no selling. I wanted a space that there's nothing but encouragement. There's nothing but solution-based thinking. There's nothing but showing people how much we care about what they're doing and lifting them up and helping them get. Because somebody might write on their goals, they want to do this, and I'm going to read it. And now I've got a connection that I can introduce them to. And the same with everybody else. So make sure, that's what I'm telling you. Write your goals. Build your new building. Get out of the old one. It's time to start wrecking it. You want your billboard to look like this. You want your billboard to look great. There's no way that you guys want your billboard looking all trashed, all jacked up. You want it looking, you need to do this, to hit it with a wrecking ball. You need to shatter who you are. Wrong way. For who you want to become. You've got to shatter who you are for who you want to become. Guys, and the biggest part is you get to redo it over and over and over and over and over again. It's a constant battle. As soon as you grow your comfort zone, it's time to break it again. As soon as you become strong at something, it's time to get scared again. As soon as you become comfortable, it's time to become scared. It's time to do something that you're afraid of. Now, just because you're afraid of it, let me rephrase that. Just because you're afraid of it doesn't mean you have to be scared so that it limits you. We're not talking about being so scared that you can't move. We're talking about being uncomfortable. We're talking about that little oh man, I hope this goes right. We're talking about the fact that if you never fail, you aren't doing anything. The biggest inhibitor of great ideas is needing to be right all the time. It's needing to not make mistakes. That's the biggest inhibitor of great ideas, is needing to not make a mistake. Mistakes are okay. They're how we grow. They're how we learn. They're how we evolve. They're how we take something and it becomes something else. In fact, mistakes are how we have this right here. This is a mistake. Now, that's $1 billion mistake. Wouldn't you prefer to have one of those? But let me tell you something. If you're not attempting to do anything, you're not making any mistakes that you can create to be lucrative. If you're not doing anything, you're not creating anything. You're not going to fail, but you're never, ever going to win either. So it's time to buckle up. It's time to strap on those boots and lace up. It's time to come into the game. It's time to start putting your goals out there. It's time to start letting people know what you want to do, who you are. Yeah, the scariest thing in the world is to show your brand. The scariest thing in the world is to stand up for something. But if you don't stand up for anything, why are you here? Do you really just want to build other people's dreams? Do you really want to go to work every day to do something for somebody else that you wish somebody was doing for you? Because the only way you're ever going to stop that mindset is to start realizing that you are different. It's going to be to start realizing that you are like Neo, that you are like the one, that there is something different out there, and that you can't live without it because you want more out of life, out of love, out of people, out of relationships. You want more. And the cool part is you deserve more. I know it. And I know most of my team knows it. The question is, do you know it? Do you know that you deserve more? Do you know that what you do matters? Do you know that you can impact the world? It's so weird to say. It's so weird to think about too, right? Because you're thinking, stop it, man, I can't impact the world, but you can. It's just like the butterfly effect. You're talking about one motion, one action here that spreads and can change the world. But like I always say, without you, there is no us, because you put the why in our success. You put that. I mean, and it's so cool because that whole sentence, like if you don't understand it, here, I'm going to show you something real quick because this is, man, I taped the heck out of this thing because I didn't ever want it to go. But I want to show you why I say this so much. And I hope that this makes sense to you. I'm hoping you guys can see this. When I saw this written, I was blown away because if you look, there's a you in us, right? So you, without you, there is no us. Because if you don't have a you in the word us, it doesn't exist. It's an S, right? But more importantly, I love the bottom one, that you put the why in our success. Because when you put the why with the our and you place those together, it becomes your success. Because when we work together as a team, we all win. When we work together, when we do things together, when we write our goals together, when we go through pain together, when we grow together, that's when we are all a success. And that's what I want. I want it for you. I want it for me. I mean, hey, I'm just as, believe me, I do a ton of things for other people, but it's because I want to build something bigger. It's because I realize that if I really want to build something amazing and huge, I'm going to need thousands of people. And to get thousands of people, it means I have got to give more than anybody I've ever met so that I can have people want to help me. Because nobody's going to want to help me if I only want to help myself. Realize that, guys. Nobody wants to help somebody that only wants to help themselves. All right, so here we are to the famous, I don't know if it's famous, but it could be famous. Our famous question and answer. And all you guys got to do for this is you can see right over to the right, you can raise your hand. And when you raise your hand, I will unmute you. And that way you guys can have a chance to say something. I'd like to kind of know about how last week is gone. What are some of the things that you're going through? What are you experiencing with writing down the challenges? How is your life going with what we're doing, with all of this, with the journey to success and everything else? So, let's see who on here would like to talk. And while you do that, I'm going to do one more thing again. Man, that is so loud. Okay, now I got to turn this way back down because if you guys are going to talk, I'll start interviewing myself. I'll just
I'll become Barry White. I'll just say, well, Pete, you know what? Every time when I write those goals down, it just seems so weird. But then when I wrote them down, you would not believe this. I once said that I wanted Tinkerbell to come and visit me. And guess what happened? She came. Oh man, that's not working right. That's a thicker you.
Wait, hold on. There we go. She showed up, right? I can do all kinds of crazy and weird voices. And I'm Popeye the Sailor Man.
I don't know. There's weird, really weird things, man. I'll be a deep talker though. There we go. Thank you, Michael Wetterman. I appreciate you. You're unmuted.
All right, that's always nice. Pete, I just wanted to say something. You know, the girl that you were talking about earlier, the one that says I stopped crying. That she's actually a childhood friend of mine, and I just wanted to put a shout out to her because I am so proud of her for doing this. And you know, she was the only person out of my whole group that saw me writing my goals every day and actually contacted me. And you know, I would look at her page, and I was thinking about, should I contact her? Because some of the things that she wrote on that page were just exactly what this book is. And I just wanted to put it out there how proud I am of her. And she's now on day 2. She did day 2 today, and I thank you. I mean, I think she's going to be really special when she's done with this challenge.
It's about growing, and the fact of the matter is that she is growing, and man, I love it, bro. And so I've got to tell you, I'm excited, and every time I see certain goals like that written, I want to reach out and help people because I see words in the word track that they're using, and the word track is disempowering, and so it's like I want no. Let's switch that up. We got to just switch it up slightly, but if we switch it up a little bit, we can really change the way that you're looking at the way that you're writing and the way that you think about that stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
And Michael, go ahead.
Go ahead. No, go. You go.
What I was going to ask you, how has this week been for you? What have been some challenges and how have you overcome them?
Well, I mean, I'm going to tell you, something special happened. Remember how we always talked about, you know, somehow money comes in your life? Yes. Somebody owed me $1,000 for 7 years and paid it back this weekend.
What?
So yeah, and so came by and paid it back this weekend, which was a nice surprise.
How cool is that?
Yeah.
Now I've got a question. Awesome. On any of your goals at all, did any of your goals talk about anything remotely like that? Meaning, did any of them say, I will build better relationships, or I will, people that people will value me. You know what I mean? Like things like that, because I think that even little words like that can trigger that kind of emotion. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. But really, the only thing that more or less is, I give to charity. I give 10% of my salary to charity, and I'll help anybody. You know, if I have it, my friends have it. You know, I'll help anybody out who's in need. And 7 years ago, he was in need, and he came through and he came back. I didn't ask for it. He just decided that he was going to pay it back and make it right. So I mean, you give and you will get. You know.
Yeah, I love that, Michael. Thank you very much, man. I appreciate that.
You're welcome.
Okay, and we've got Mike Jensen now. Mike Jensen, you are unmuted, my man. Okay. You are unmuted. But apparently you aren't unmuted or something. I'm not sure exactly what's going on. So I'm going to go ahead and mute you back out. Well, I'll leave you unmuted because if you ever figure out how to talk, then that'll be awesome. Not talk, but you get what I'm saying. All right. So is there anybody new on here that has any questions? If you guys have any questions about anything that I've gone over tonight, Cynthia or Gil Gil, I'm not sure if you have any questions, but there's a lot of new people on here, man. Zip, nice to see you. and some of these names I have no idea how to pronounce either. So I will just say, if you guys have questions, please raise your hand and we will get to them. Otherwise, I'm going to go ahead and keep going because we are just about out of time. So here is, and here we'll go ahead and
I'll use my deep talker voice just for to explain the webinar. So, or not the webinar.
Never mind, that messes me up. Okay. So here's our website when you guys go to that. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and get past this and I'm going to show you how to do it on the webinar or on the website because I hate that part. All right. So let me, whoa, what just happened there? Escape. So let me go over here now and go into here. And this is our main website. All right. So when you come here, you're going to see a few things. One, c2cria.com. When you show up, you can go right over here and you can connect to the challenge. Super easy. When you click on this, look at how easy this. Well, that didn't work out like I wanted it to. I have to create a little box. I didn't create a box yet because people still need to understand what this is. So here's your explanation of the whole thing. Come back to here. But like, let's say you know that you want to do the bird dog call, right? When you click on that, see, there you go. Now you can just hit register and you're all good. Up here, we've got our calendar. Now, the reason that the calendar is good is because you guys can see where we're going to be, when we're going to be there. You can tell who's going to be on the show for investing coast to coast. So here we go. Here's next week. Monday is always the guest, right? Then we have Jillian Sidoti. Then we've got Mission Viejo meetings. And I don't think he's got David Fagan stuff up there. He hasn't put the rest of the stuff up there yet. But typically we will have who our guests are going to be, like Clint Coon's Experts Corner is going to be on that week. So there's a lot of different things that we have going on. In also where we're going to be. So sometimes we're going to be at events like when we were in KC, and you can see all that stuff, who's going to be on the show. But that's what that is. Webinars, you can come here to join any of the webinars that we have. This is Journey to Success that you guys are listening to. Ivan Oberon, this is being changed to what you guys will see in a second. And then the Experts Corner. I love that picture. Okay, so coming back up here, we got podcasts. You can go to any of these. These are all the titles. So let's say you were like, oh, I want to see what's going on in investing coast to coast. And I've had people come on where they're like, man, if I'm not in a good mood or if I'm just kind of bummed out, what I'll end up doing is coming on here and I'll just look for something that basically refers to what I want. So the power of SEO or marketing deals or consistency or got money, need money, right? And even more than that, it's probably Journey to Success is a better version of that, but challenging yourself, living with consistency, creating the right strategies. So there's different things that you can go through looking, as well as going on to the motivation side and checking out all the different daily videos that I do as well. And they all the daily videos are all pretty much short and they focus on a specific topic. And they're different every single day. So those are the one things that are not same. They aren't the same or anywhere remotely the same every single time. The Experts Corner, you've got the goals program, which I'm probably going to end up removing because I think the 21-day challenge is much more effective than that. You can connect with us here, and you can go down here and here's all of our things from Tumblr to Instagram to Twitter to YouTube. You can just click on these and then connect with us. It's super, super easy. In fact, I got to get Scott's up here too. All right. And then let's see. Let's say you guys are going, oh man, it's Monday or it's Tuesday or it's Friday or whatever, Monday through Friday, and it's 10 a.m. What can you do? I want to listen to Pete, but I don't live in Southern California. Not a problem. Click right there and it'll take you right to our actual stream. Now, if you can click there at any point, but it's just going to take you to Bloomberg. And if we're not on Bloomberg, then obviously you're not going to be hearing us. This is the call-in number too that you can do. But yeah, like I said, every Monday through Friday, 10 to 11 a.m., you can click right there. It works on your iPad, your iPhone, anything. So it doesn't matter what kind of smart device you have, as long as it's not one of those old rotary dial phones, you can go ahead and listen, which again, I think is pretty cool. All right, Mike, you still have your hand up, but I'm going to put it down just in case you've figured out how to talk. You can put it back up. Coming down, you can download the book right here. Again, super easy. And then we also have our Experts Corner section right here that is all not bios, but words, blogs. So all of our blogging happens in the Experts Corner. These are all of our last webinars. So this was last week's Mother's Day webinar that I didn't really focus on anything but Mother's Day. And then you have Ivan Oberon's ones, but these will all be changing. And then obviously you're going to start seeing the Money Matters one too, which if you're asking, what am I talking about? Let's get to that. Going back up here. This is our assisted living. So if you guys are interested in that, we will be having another webinar coming up, I think July 1st. Acquisitions and Action in Atlanta 2014. You can register for that. Here is a new webinar that we are putting together, and it's going to be on Thursday nights. We're going to be moving the Bird Dog one to Mondays at 6. Thursdays is going to be considered is going to be Ivan Oberon's Money Matters. And we're doing that because his focus has always really been on the money aspect, on the paper side of it, really the all that kind of stuff, which is very confusing and is very challenging in getting private money. And how does that work? And how can you do that effectively? And look, we need money for deals, period. So Ivan's an expert at that. Why not have him just focus on that? Then we've got Scott, who we're bringing in, and Scott is going to be doing, and I don't think I put up the other one, but I created it, I believe, already. Where did I put that thing? Get out of here. There we go. So you guys can see what it looks like too. Look at that, huh? So this will be, there's going to be Scott's new thing, his bird dogging opportunities, I got to change that from free trainings too. I hate that. I don't like how it says free trainings, even though we don't charge. I just think trainings, they're webinars. Yeah, they're trainings too, but it's more about being a webinar. But these will be happening on Monday nights at 6 p.m. So if you want to learn the physical side, and then you guys can all do the high fives, it'll be awesome. Here's something else that I saw that I thought was pretty cool. I'll show you guys this. Success, it means to analyze, solution, process, objectives, teamwork, vision, and sales. You've got to have all these things, guys. You can't just analyze things and figure that they're going to work. You can't just have a solution, but have no processes. You got to have objections. You've got to have goals, right? You've got to have a team that works on teamwork. There's got to be a vision that we're going towards. And then at the end of the day, any company, you need sales. You've got to have sales. If you don't have sales, how are you paying anything, right? There's got to be a product. And so one of the beautiful things for us is with like the Thing to Succeed project, the product is you. The product is the ability to do a high five with a cat, man. I cannot figure out what kind of cat that is or how they got it to do that, but that's pretty awesome. All right. Back into here. So now you've seen what's going to be happening on Monday. So we've got Sundays are Journey to Success. Mondays are going to be bird dogging opportunities. Tuesdays are Experts Corner. Wednesdays are Wine and Dine. Thursdays are Money Matters. Fridays, everybody goes out and parties unless they move ahead of the pack, and then they're actually building their just different things, man. Writing your book, building your brand, SEO stuff. Saturdays, we don't have anything yet either. So we will eventually have something I want to get on Fridays and Saturdays. My goal especially with the 21-day challenge, my goal eventually is to have every hour of the day, every day of the week, we have something that you could tune into to get motivation, to get inspiration, whatever, to help you overcome challenges, all that stuff. But what we have right now, at least every day, Monday through Friday, is we do have Coast to Coast. You are more than welcome to call at any point, ask anything on the call or the webinar. Yeah, the webinar, the radio. Golly. Okay, it's getting late. I can feel my voice is already starting to get toasted anyways. But look at you guys, man. Everybody is still on here. And we've actually gained 3 people in this amount of time. It just blows me away. So many people cannot wait to give you less information. I mean, for real, it's supposed to be an hour webinar and they're getting off at 58 minutes or 48 minutes or 38 minutes. All right, you guys are so smart. We're going to go ahead and end tonight because you guys got this and you guys are just brilliant. And you guys are all going, hold on, I got a question. Then boom, it ends. And here I do. I'm now at an hour and 45 minutes and I still have every single person on here that was on here and more. I mean, we're up at 58 people at this point. It just blows me away that there are that many people interested in really focusing their life and are willing to give up this amount of time every Sunday night to focus their week. So I got to tell you, man, I am truly grateful for you guys. I'm glad that you guys are here. I'm glad that you guys are becoming a part of this. And more than anything, I want you guys to take your life to the next level. You know, read this book. All right. Force your dreams into reality. It's only 40 pages. I promise you, you can read it in one day. And every single person who has read it has said, I wish I would have read that sooner. Every single person. I haven't had one person read it and go, this is crap. Not one person. So believe me when I tell you, it's not a waste of your time to read it. It's an actual amazing book that is really focused on being a shorthand manual on getting your life to the next level. The next book that I have coming out, which is Questions Are the Key to Unlocking Your Reality and Focusing Through the Fear, that book's probably going to be around 100 pages. Or 110 pages. And then the next book that I have that I've already got the title for, that one I'm aiming at about 130 to 150. That'll be a full-fledged big book. I want to get that thing actually not produced. What do you call that? Published. That one and this next one that I have coming out. So I can already feel, man, my energy is dying. My voice is going. I feel like now
I feel like this, right?
So guys, what I have for you now is this. I have the question. Will you share this webinar? Will you share the 21-day challenge? Will you go out and find 5 people that you know personally, physically, that you talk to on a regular basis and get them involved in this challenge? Bring them into this with you. Show not only the people around you, but show you how amazing you can be. Show you how incredible you are. I promise you, it's only going to take you about 7 days to get past the pain, okay, and get to the change and the gain, all right? And yeah, the first couple of days, it sucks writing your goals out. It's not something you're used to. It's not a habit. And you've got to stop and write them out and write them out and write them out. But you know what? Grab a book, get a nice book like this, make it so that you care about it. And that way, when you're writing in it and you're writing down your different, and you can always get like these things, right? So that they keep track of where you are. And then you just write in all your stuff. You just make it all happen. And it's just, it's amazing, man. It's just amazing to read back through your stuff and see how life has changed. And that's not going to happen if you don't step up your life. So, all right, Mike Jensen, it looks like you raised your hand again. So are you ready to talk? You are unmuted. You are killing me, man. Come on, Mike. I've unmuted you. All right. Does anybody else have a question before we roll out of here, man? I want to thank everybody again. Please share this. Talk about it on Facebook. Talk about it on Twitter. Talk about it on everything, man. Share what's going on. And I liked what I saw Gil doing too. He was in other groups posting up his challenges, because let me tell you, you want to find more resources, start posting your goals up in groups that pertain to the resources that you would need to acquire those goals or to achieve those goals, right? If you have on your goals, I want to own an apartment complex, go join some apartment complex groups or apartment groups on Facebook, and then start posting your goals, because somebody's going to see that, read it, and they're going to go, man, oh, that's cool. And you're going to get connections. Guys, just think outside of the box, man. Thank you so much. I appreciate your time tonight, and have a great night. We'll talk to you guys later.